With the acknowledgement of Five Nights at Freddy's 4's existence, the past few weeks have led to some of the most interesting and canny images teased on scottgames.com we have and may ever see. The introduction of the Nightmare animatronic stifled almost all avid Five Nights at Freddy's theorists and gamers alike. From these images, many users sought out to decipher any inner meanings these images possess and reveal the true purpose of the Nightmare animatronics and shed some light on their true purpose.
It's important to understand that all information speculated in this video is theory-based work produced by ourselves and the Five Nights at Freddy's community. The information backing each theory is strictly built upon current existing speculation and limited confirmed knowledge of the Nightmare images in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. However, we as a community have been known to theorize images in the past and be correct with the information we provide. And with that said, onto the video.
Theory 5. The Purple Guy's Nightmare. Beginning this countdown lies a theory that many of the community hold to be true. As we are aware, Night 6 in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is in fact named Nightmare Mode. A very interesting name for a simple night. The theory introduces the idea that the Purple Man may still be alive after the fire, but is tormented with hallucinogenic nightmares from the souls of the children murdered. The nightmare monsters he sees are reflections of how evil and corruption has turned what was once innocent souls into cold-blooded killers.
Theory 4. Modified animatronics. The roots of this theory were extracted from the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 minigames, and more specifically, Night 5. At the end of Night 5, the Purple Man has dismembered all remaining animatronic suits that are then left to rot on the floor outside the safe room. Seeing how the Springtrap dies and the establishment is already closed down, we can safely suggest that these parts were left unscathed, meaning anyone who could potentially access the building may have stumbled across these remains. Anyone believing there are two killers will suggest the Pink Man found these animatronic suits and modified them into the dangerous suits we lay eyes on presently. Some say for revenge, and others suggest it is just a sick fantasy of a deranged killer.
Theory 3. The victim is having a nightmare. This is possibly the biggest theory to speculate around the community at this moment in time. When we were introduced to the first Nightmare animatronic, that being Nightmare Freddy, we were also introduced to a new source code laced in 8s and 7s. People immediately connected the dots to the infamous Bite of 87 and the mystery surrounding it. We still have no current answer to what exactly happened and who the true suspect is, or who the victim was. However, we can suggest that the victim may have been a night guard. The logic behind this theory is that we have always played in an office environment as a night guard. Therefore, it would be strange if we were to play as a child as a night guard. A landslide of community believe we are experiencing the nightmares of a coma-induced victim to the Bite of 87. We can suggest that the fear experienced in this person's brain is being alleviated through trauma caused by the bite. The victim may be having a nightmare of working the night shift with overly exaggerated animatronics haunting his every move.
Theory 2. The Nightmare animatronics have existed before Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This theory suggests that the Nightmare animatronics we see may have existed prior to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. A main piece of evidence for this is a recorded phone tape we hear in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 on Night 4. The phone guy explains how the classic suits are being retired to an appropriate location and employees will be made to wear temporary suits found on short notice and to not question appropriateness or relevance as they will not be listened to. Could these inappropriate suits be the Nightmare suits that we are seeing now? And if so, were these suits perhaps used as temporary suits in Five Nights at Freddy's 2? You may be thinking it cannot be possible as we have already played in the year 1987 and these animatronics are nowhere to be seen. However, on further inspection, you may change your mind. The paycheck we receive at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is dated November 12th, 1987, whereas the phone call we get at the start of the game welcomes you to your new summer job. This could mean that these phone calls were pre-recorded, and it leaves us pondering over the possibilities that these inappropriate nightmare suits may have been introduced to temporarily replace any possible malfunction in suits at the time, which set in motion the Bite of 87.
Theory 1. The Nightmare Animatronics association with the Bite of 87.
On April 27th, users who found themselves on scottgames.com would be greeted to the first in line of the Nightmare animatronics, Nightmare Freddy. Although the sharp teeth and mini Freddys tearing themselves away from Freddy's chest were enough to haunt anyone's dreams, it was the source code that sparked the biggest debate. Back when the teaser was first at its freshest, the source code was engulfed in 8s and 7s. Understandably, the Five Nights at Freddy's community began to conclude that this generation of animatronics were responsible for the unmistakable Bite of 87.
As the weeks progressed, more and more teaser images showing the same style of animatronics were revealed on scottgames.com. What didn't change, however, was the source code. The 8s and 7s still continued to remain prevalent throughout. Various questions began to appear throughout the images. Was it me? Was this in question to the byte of 87?
The unique and menacing features these animatronics possess do nothing but back up this concept. Tapered claw-like fingers, sharp rows of teeth along with an overall design catered towards what appears to be danger. After all, why else would they appear to be built with what seems to be danger as the primary driving force? What do you truly believe? Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?